What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. And listen, I'm going to be sure to make Catnap. Now, this is the Catnap from Poppy Playtime Chapter 3 specifically. And there will be a nightmare version. You can actually see the start of him lurking in the shadows back there. But here he is, the normal Catnap, that being. And yeah, that being said, enjoy the tutorial, and I will catch you on the flip side. Here are all the materials you're needing. Not really an insane list, but still a list nonetheless. Alrighty, and the space you need for this is a 23 by 45, and the materials you're needing to start off are blue terracotta, black stone slabs, purple wool. Honestly, that's about as far as I got with my thought process. Black concrete, smooth quartz blocks, polished black stone buttons. I guess we'll go polished black stone stairs, polished black stone walls, and yellow terracotta. I believe that's literally everything except for the polished black stone slabs. Unless I'm missing something catastrophically obvious, in which case then it's not. But you want to, starting off, you want to come to the front left-hand corner of your 23 by 45 grid cough if you made it. You want to start by counting back by 3 and right by 1 and place a black stone slab. Bring that slab back diagonally to the right with a blue terracotta, and then bring that blue terracotta right by 4. Bring that far right blue terracotta forward diagonally to the right with a black stone slab. Now you have whatever that is. You will take the second and the fourth blue terracotta and extend each of them forward with a blue terracotta and then a black stone slab. So now you actually have some toes. You will also take that second and fourth blue terracotta again and extend them back by 2 and then connect together at the back there. Looks like a little hat. You'll take that, essentially that back blue terracotta and bring it up, and then also bring up 2 going forward on the sides and this front one to create a little square on top. You want to copy this over on the right side. It's a 7-block gap between the basically this blackstone slab and the blackstone slab over there. So if you come to this far right blackstone slab, you will count right by 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Slab there. Back diagonally to the right with the blue terracotta. Right 4. Forward diagonally to the right with the blackstone slab. And then again, you're taking those second and fourth blue terracottas and extending them forward by 1 and then forward with a black stone slab. And also extending them back by 2 and connecting together at the back, and then just bringing that square up. Pretty easy. Remember this, because we'll have to do these again later for the back feet. So what you want to start by doing is, we'll take the inner corner of purple wool, the inner front corner on either leg, and extend this up with 4 purple wool. Just like that. You'll then take that top purple wool and extend it inward diagonally upward with another purple wool. Again, make sure you're doing this on both legs. Extend it up by 3. Go outward diagonally with a purple again. Up 2. Up diagonally out with a purple again. Up 2 again. Inward diagonally up with a purple. Up 1. In diagonally up with a purple. Up 2. In diagonally up with a purple. Up 2. And let me make sure there's nothing else. Yeah, we'll stop right there. So you should have this, essentially. It'll look something like this. Then you will take each purple wool and extend it outward by 2. Precisely. Hopefully everyone is having a good day or night. I am for the most part. Figured I would at least start this. I don't know if I'll finish it because it's absurd, but you know. I always like getting a head start on things. Not really planning on recording much today, but I was like, I gotta do at least a little bit of something. You'll then extend that kind of purple wool back and around, and basically you're just bringing the whole kind of outer framework of the legs back with 2 purple wool. I guess it's not really framework, it is the final legs. But you're bringing it back by 2 and then filling in the little back gap that you'll have. This might get a little strange later, but that's a problem for later. Because I'm just thinking about the body. I don't know how it works with the backs of the legs specifically. I did check the front of the legs because I had to make sure that the head wasn't going to get in my way. Because I was actually planning on taking the head and just structure blocking it off the body and, like, removing it. Basically disconnecting his head. And, but it would not appear that I need to because the legs line up almost perfectly. Because basically the front line of the legs will connect to the base of the head. Which I guess I kind of made it that way, so that checks out that would work. But that's besides the point anyway. So yeah, you should have this. I guess we might as well check. Okay, so it does actually work the same on all rows of the leg, which is, I guess, good. So we're just going to start with the front because I find that just easier. You're going to take this top inner corner of purple wool on either side and extend it inward an additional 2. So you'll have this. You'll then place a row of purple wool on top of the front of either leg, and it's going to be 1 shorter on the left, and it will go inward, or 1 shorter on the outside, and it will go inward by an additional 2. So it should leave you with 3 blocks in the middle. You will then bring that row up with itself an additional row, except you will actually connect together above those 3. And then you can go inward with, or you can place 3 more rows on top of that each get shorter by 1 on either side from the previous row. Just like that. And if you so choose, you can make that 3 thick. Yeah, we will do that. I will do that. We'll change the back row a bit, but I believe it is just kind of pulling some stuff up. One thing you will also notice is that he is completely symmetrical. Also, you don't have to fill in the back of this little noodle. So it can look like that from the back, but you do need to fill in the front. Like so. As mentioned on that back row, between or... So you'll have, if you're on the back row, you'll have a row of 2, and then you'll have a row of 1, and you'll come to the next row of 1. And here you will place a purple wool on top of that 1. And then you will place another purple wool up diagonally in. And then you'll bring that purple in by 3, and then up by 1 there. And then you'll essentially copy this down the other side. So in the middle, it's just 3 there, and basically that's what you should have. I would actually advise bringing at least the middle row up with an additional row that's just shorter on either side by 1 from the row below it in the middle row. So it'll look like this. Now let's do his miraculous and lovely and quite beautiful face. Those are all sarcastic words. So first off, you want to take the kind of bottom middle row of 3 here on the front of this, whatever this thing is. You're going to take this row of 3 and you'll extend this out with purple wool. You'll extend that purple wool left and right by 1 each. And then from there, what you want to do is you want to go... Well, I'll just actually start by saying bring this row of purple wool forward diagonally down with 2 additional rows of purple wool. Just like this. That is the... Well, not quite the bottom of his mouth. Because you do want to take that bottom row of purple and extend it forward an additional row. That's the kind of bottom of his mouth right there. Now, from there, we can mark out his big old grin. So, we'll start from the left side, and we'll just kind of work our way around. If you're on this front left-hand purple wool, you'll go up diagonally to the left from it with a purple wool. Left one. Up diagonally to the left by 2. Up 1. Up diagonally to the left 1. Up 2. Right 2. Down diagonally to the right 1. Right 3. Then you want a blue terracotta, and if you remembered the pattern, you're just copying it again, because you'll go right from that blue terracotta with 4 more purple wool, up diagonally to the right with the purple, right 2, down 2, down diagonally to the left 1, down 1, down diagonally to the left by 2, and then you can connect left with 1. And there's his big old grin. You will take this blue terracotta that's kind of just chilling in the top middle here and extend it up with another blue terracotta, and then you can extend that blue terracotta left and right by 1 each. We'll kind of focus on the nose, or I guess the eyes, which are built off of the nose in a second. But first, I would just say a block kind of inside of the mouth. You're going to fill it in with black concrete. Make sure you don't place any more blocks than you need to, and make sure you do place enough as well. That is always important. And yeah. You can give this some depth, but I'll get more into that later. Like, you can essentially, you do need the outer row of black concrete, but you can basically take everything inside of that and push it back a row, and you can do that, I think, as many times as you would want. Until, obviously, you can't anymore, because, well, you've hit the back of his thing. Anyway, or if his, or I guess the most you can push that in a row. Anyway, you're going to take the blue terracotta nose, and these top blocks here, you'll extend each of them back with a purple wool. Bring the middle purple wool up by 3, and then you can extend it up diagonally out in either direction. Then extend those top purple wools out by 3, down 1, out 1, and then down by 3. And that third one should end up kind of just back behind the tops of his mouth. That kind of looks like Elmo. Maybe Elmo. I would just fill in kind of the bottom here, these 3 purple wool on either eye socket with more purple wool. And basically, in a row from this, you're going to place black concrete filling in the eye. Except this purple wool behind his nose. Up diagonally out from that will be a smooth quartz block in line with the eye. It's going to be a block back, but that is where it'll be. I also, unrelated note, but I may end up making the plushy versions of these guys as well. Whoopsies, forgot the people. There we go. And then just on either smooth quartz block, you can place a polished blackstone button. Now he's kind of actually looking terrifying, which is what we're going for. So, what I'm going to tell you to do is start by bringing his entire, like, grin back with a row of purple wool. At least, except for the bottom, because the bottom already is back with a row. So it'll look like this. Then, from there, you will kind of place 2 rows of purple wool back that kind of just go inside of it. So, essentially, it just shrinks. Almost like those puzzles where you have, like, the different shaped crescents or whatever, and you're just putting them inside of each other in whatever order they fit. You're kind of doing that. However, you're keeping... Well, I would actually stop just below this top row here. So just kind of do 2 blocks here, and then you'll have this third where the mouth curves back in, or slants back in, I guess. You'll have that open for now, because there is some fancy things that go on there. But just start with 2 rows for now. And then it will connect it to the body. Or what we have of the body, rather. Just like that. Now, I don't really want to continue this because I do want the ears in place. Because the ears are going to help us kind of... Or the back of the ears is going to help us shape some things a little bit more. So I would start by taking your, like, eye kind of area and just bringing this back with an additional row of purple wool as well. Just like that. Pretty easy. Now you will take the... On this back row of purple wool, you'll take on the top here, not the furthest out block, but one in, and you'll place a purple wool on top of this on either side, like that. That looks kind of strange. You'll take this purple wool and you'll extend it up diagonally out with 1 on both. Then out by 1. Up diagonally out 1. Out by 3. down by 1, down diagonally in by 1, down 1, down diagonally in 1, down 1, and then down diagonally in 1, and that should connect back up to the side of the eyes just above his mouth. It'll basically rest in between kind of where his mouth meets the eyes. Like so. You can bring the entirety of the purple wool on the ears back with an additional row. Also bring the kind of eyes in, or back I should say, where they will cut, almost, I guess slice through the ears. Not that that's really what's happening, but it's my best way to describe it. And then in that back row you can fill in the ears with blue terracotta. Now he's truly starting to look like Catnap, other than the fact that he's flat. But we're going to ignore that factor and keep moving on. So, bottom of the ears on both sides. You should have just one purple wool here. If you have a second one below it, perfect. You do want to bring the ears down by a row. So it is 2. Like so. Now, for the back of the ears, you want to just cover up the blue terracotta with purple wool. We'll start with that on both of them. So it'll give you this. You will take... So there's this row of 4 purple wool in between 2 rows of 3. The bottom row of 3 actually below that, you will connect together just kind of across the back of the head with more purple wool. And then you can bring just that row forward by a row so it connects back up to the eyes. And then on the back here, you want to continue the pattern that we were doing earlier, where you're just kind of bringing everything inward diagonally a row. And you're doing it 2 more times from what you have. And that's not including this weird back row. So essentially, you'll have a purple wool here, and then you'll have one up diagonally, and then you'll have one there. That's all it is on this one, on the first row. And then on the far back here, you're literally just filling in the gap in the back of the head with purple wool. It is just a block back from everything that you have. Like so. And there's his head and arms done. It only gets harder from here, though, unfortunately. So we will start with the kind of top of his back here. And if you have this, voice crack, if you have this row of 3, it's actually in the right spot, which is very nice for us. So what you want to do from this row of 3 is you want to bring the middle one up diagonally back by 1. Actually, up diagonally back by 2, sorry. So you'll have this. Then you'll go back 1, up diagonally back 1, back 2, up diagonally back 1, back 3, up diagonally back 1, back 4, up diagonally back 1, back by 5. You'll then go down diagonally back 1, back 2, down diagonally back 1, back 1, and then down diagonally back 1. Correct that. Down diagonally back by 1, 2, 3, 4. And then from there you will go down by 6. And then let's just actually bring this back forward for the funnies. So from there you will go down diagonally forward with a purple, forward 4, up diagonally forward by 2, up 1, up diagonally forward by 2, forward by 7, down diagonally forward 1, forward 5, down diagonally, forward 1, forward 3, down diagonally, forward 1, and then you should be able to connect forward with 2. And that should give you a total of a row of 7 right here, which I'm going to just confirm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There you go. Now you have his bean-shaped body. At the back where it gets flat, it gets kind of... I don't want to say it gets fixed. Well, no, it does get fixed. The way that kind of back portion is just puffs it out a little bit. And also there's the tail that we have to worry about. So, yeah. So, the way we're going to fill out Catnap's body is going to be quite the journey. So, I'm going to be doing it almost in rings. So, we're just going to do each row individually. I know it's a pain, but I don't really think there's a very good way to do this other than doing it with rings that's going to make any sort of logical sense. So, if you start with this first row here that you have, it should be this first row behind the legs. You're going to take this middle purple wool, and you're going to extend it off of each side by 4. Just like so. You will then from there go up diagonally out with a purple. Make sure you're doing this on both sides, by the way, just mirroring it. And then you're going out 1. And then you're going up by 3. And then you're going back in by 1. This is quite the pattern. And you're going up diagonally in 1. In 2, and then you'll just extend this purple wool out on each side by 1. So just so you know, that's what we're doing per block. Also, you will have these little like gaps in the legs here. Just fill them in. It's like 5 blocks per leg on the back side, just like that. Now, for the next row, you're going to yet again bring this middle purple wool out on each side by 4. You'll then go up diagonally out with a purple again. This time out by 2. And then you'll go again up by 3. However, this time you're going to go up diagonally in with a purple. In 1. Up diagonally in with a purple. In by 2, and then again you'll bring this top middle purple out on each side by 1. That row you are copying again, however at the very bottom, instead of placing 4 purple wool off either side, you're placing 3, which would then make this a row of 4 here. But the top is the same, it's just that little bit on the bottom has changed. So you should have this. The next one, so we should be kind of stepping up now. This purple wool will be brought off of either side by 3. You'll then go up diagonally out again. Out 3. And then you will go up by 3. Then up diagonally in 1. In 1, up diagonally in 1, in by 2, and then again this middle purple will be brought out on either side by 1. Sometimes this will be 2. It's almost always 1, or it stays 1 for most of it, but it does change later, so don't get too ahead of yourself with that. Anyway, the next row is fairly similar, just... Well, I might as well just instruct it again, because it's easier. You're taking this purple wool out on either side by 3. Then going up diagonally in a row. Or up diagonally out a row, excuse me. Out by 2. And then you are going up by 4. And then in by 1. And then the rest of this top is just the same. So you kind of see his shoulders are formed there, and we're starting to get more kind of where his body really starts to thin out. Anyway, the previous row is just copied. However, instead of 2 off either side, or excuse me, 3 off either side of the purple. It's only 2 off either side. And then again, you're going to compensate for that with the 4th block, or with the extra 4th block. Just like that. He's got a very, very strange spine. Bring either purple, or bring that purple out on either side by 2. Then up diagonally out with the purple. Out by 2. Then up by 5. And then from there you will go in by 1. Up diagonally in 1. In 1. And then again you will have your 3-block spine. Pretty simple. Now after that, that'll be that kind of, I guess, layer done, or of the bottom segment. This next one starts with 4 purple off either side. And then you will go up diagonally out with a purple. And then bring that edge of purple up by 4. And then from there you will go in by 1, and actually just the rest of the top is the same. Pretty easy. You are copying the previous row back, except again, the bottom thins out by 1. So you bring the purple left and right by 3 instead of 4, and then the top stays the same. I feel like I have to sneeze. The next row is 2 purple off of either side. Then up diagonally out with a purple. Out 1. And then you will go up by 4. And then you'll go up diagonally in 1. In 1. And then again, you'll just bring that purple off either side by 1. Now, great, the sneeze, or the potential for a sneeze left me, with a stuffy nose, apparently. The next row is the same until the top, so you're just bringing the bottom and the sides back 1 row. And then instead on the top here, you're going in diagonally up with 2 purple, and then this will be brought off either side by 1 again. That's a very, very peculiar shape, but it is a shape nonetheless. So, next row is 2 purple off either side again. Up diagonally out with a single purple. Up by 4. Up diagonally in with the purple. Up by 1, and then you'll bring this middle purple out on either side by 1. So you can really see now he is starting to kind of thin out, and we should have 1 more row left on this portion of his ribs. Which this one is, this purple is brought out on either side by 1, and then it is brought up diagonally out by 1, and then out 1, and then from there it is just the same as the previous row. Just like so. And again, that is another segment done. And you can kind of see, like, this is basically where his body is the thinnest. Actually, I think it gets a little bit thinner from where we are currently. Yeah, it does. But we're almost there. We're basically getting there. From this purple, you'll bring it out on either side by 3. And then you'll just go up from there with 4. And would you look at that, it's the same for the rest of the row, which I guess would include that 4, actually. The next row, the purple is brought off either side by 2. And then it is brought up by 6. And then this purple should be brought off either side by 1. That is a very square shape. I did not realize it was that square, but oh well. The next row it's basically the same. It's 2 off either side, and then it's up by 7 instead of 6. And then, yeah, it'll connect together, or the purple will just be brought across on the top, like that. Now, after that, it is the purple's brought off either side by 1, and then it's brought up diagonally out by 1, And then the rest of this row is the same as the row before it, which is just, should be 6 wool up. Yeah. Just like so. Now this is where things get a little bit really thin, yeah. From this purple wool, you're just instantly going up diagonally out on either side with a purple. This purple is extending out by 1, and then up diagonally out by 1. You'll then bring those outer purples up by 4. And then you'll just kind of, basically it'll be in diagonally up by 2, and it'll finish off that. The next row is the same as the previous row. There are no changes, which is a very nice alteration of our pace. And then the next row gets a little bit thicker again. From this bottom purple wool, you'll extend it out on either side by 1. Up diagonally out 1. Out 1. And then from there you will go up by 5. And that's actually just the same at the top here, which would also again include that 5. Oh yeah, I was like, what am I messing up? But it's not on the build. It was something that I just remembered. That's unrelated. Bring the purple out on either side by 2. Then up diagonally out 1. Out 1. And then from there you will go up by 4. Up diagonally in 1. Up 1. And then you will go in 1, and then this probably brought it off either side by 1. Maybe the spine doesn't change. I thought I made it thicker at some points, but apparently I didn't. That's another, like, layer done, basically. So you can really see now the shape is coming together, and he's got that hunch, which is perfect. That's what we want. This lonesome soldier here, this purple wool, it will be brought off either side by 1. It will then be brought up diagonally out on either side by 2. And then out 1. Up 3. Up diagonally in 1. Up 1. In 1. And then this purple will just be brought off either side by 1 again. We should have just started by making that spine 3 thick. But I could have sworn it changed. That's almost like a perfect circle, actually. It's not quite, but it's the closest that we've gotten. On this one, this is where things get a little bit more weird here. So, to start, you will take this purple wool and you will extend it off, or this bottom one, and you'll extend it left and right by 2. You will then go up by 2. Then up diagonally out by 1. And then out 1. Then up 4. And then you'll go just basically the same at the top here with the like 2 and everything. And then you'll have a couple of blocks here that you will want to fill in at the bottom. This next row, which is a row of, or this little row of 1. You will extend this out on either side also by 2. You'll then again go up diagonally out by 1. Up by 2. Up diagonally out 1. And then up by 4. Might actually be the same. It should be the same. It is the same, yeah. For the top again. I just got thrown off by a couple of things. Let me like keep my marking going. I have a marking going on his spine, just so I know what I've done and haven't done, and it is helping me when I'm using it. Now, for this, it's gonna get fun here. I believe this, it might not be this row actually. This row might be our last row of freedom. Yeah, it is. And then after this, the legs get in the way, so we'll probably throw those down real quick and then come back. So you'll start by bringing this purple wool out on either side by 1. Then go up diagonally out 1. Then out by 1. And then up diagonally out 1. and then up by 4. Up diagonally, out 1. Up 1. Frick. I'm hitting things. And then in diagonally, up by 2. In 1, and then this purple will be brought off either side by 1. Let's stop there for just a quick second. The next row is where the legs are. So we're going to do the bottom of it. Basically, what you want to do for it is you want to take the purple wool here, and you want to extend it off of the left and right by 2. Then from there you will go up diagonally out by 1. And out by 3. And then what you want to do from there is you want to take that end of purple wool. And you want to extend it down by 3. On both sides. So this is where his legs will start. And we're just going to get them out of the way because I know if I don't that something is going to happen dumb. So from this bottom purple wool now, you will go down diagonally forward with a purple. Make sure you're actually facing the front, by the way. Just like take a peek at his spine or his rib cage. Then go down by 2. Forward diagonally down. Down 1. Should be saying the other way. Down diagonally forward 1. That's better. Down 2. Then you go down diagonally back by 1. Down 2. Down diagonally back 1. Back, or down by 3, excuse me, not back. Down diagonally back 1. And down by 3 again. Also, just a quick note, if you see that white concrete, that is my marking. You can see my account right there. That's not how his zipper looks. I'm just confirming that because I realized if you look over right now and you're like, what is that zipper? Disgusting. It's not that bad. So you want to take every purple wool that is below this line right here that we kind of have near his pelvis. You want to take these purple wools and extend them out by 2 each, preferably with the right block. Just like this. So again, you will end up with 3 at the top there. Suppose that is the best way. Yeah, there's my account. See him peeking up at the, something like the underside of his leg where the stitches are. And yes, I did make the stitches. Very subtly, but I made them. And if you made the other leg, you should know the drill here. You're going to just extend the whole leg back with 2 rows, and then just kind of connect up the back. Or I guess, stitch up the back. Suppose that is on par with what I was saying. These legs are the same as the legs on the front. They're just rotated. I wasn't really going to pull any, like, trickery here. I mean, I guess it is kind of trickery. Not like that. I meant, like... I don't know what I meant, frankly. I just meant I'm not really going to try to keep any secrets, which I should have just said that instead of trickery, because making the same leg and orienting it a different way to make it look different is technically considered trickery. Lazy, but trickery. Aha, I felt that was wrong. I don't know how I just do that sometimes. This was certainly one of the... I think this is probably the most complicated tutorial I've made. Or most complicated statue at the bare minimum. Nightmare Huggy was also pretty complicated, but he was easier when you broke him down. This is just like, what? And we haven't even done the tail yet. That's the hardest part. If you remember the foot design, just go ahead and make it. So first off, I'm going to start by connecting the purple wool down to the ground with just 2 rows of blue terracotta. It should be 2 rows. If you're on like a hill or something, I'm so sorry. That's really all I can say. You will take either front corner of blue terracotta and extend it off the side and also off the front with the blue terracotta. The frontmost blue terracottas will be brought forward to the blackstone slab, and the side ones will be brought out diagonally forward to the blackstone slab as well. There's his toesies. I'm going to try to remember to never call them toesies again, by the way. Also, the joint is the same, although this one isn't actually rotated like the rest of the leg. If you take the Oh, I brought this one up higher. Whoops. Yeah, don't do that. So it should look like this. If you take the middle block of the front of the leg here, you'll bring it up with 2 purple wool. Then go up diagonally in by 2, and just stop there for a second and do that on both sides. There you go. Now you will actually place another purple up diagonally in right there, which should be in line with the rest of his body. And we're just going to pick up the rest of the pattern. So we're going to go back to doing the rings. So yeah, from this inner purple wool, you'll go up diagonally out with a purple wool. And then you'll bring it up by 2. And the top should, in fact, be the same, and it is. Just like so. I would also fill in a little bit of the front of the legs there. Now, essentially what you want to do is you want to just copy the previous row 2 more times going back. Now, when you do this, some things are kind of gonna happen. So, the top obviously isn't going to line up. So just worry about the sides for now. But once you hit the top, in case you do feel like you want to know, well, you do want to know, it's just going to kind of flatten out. So once you just pass this kind of knee joint here, I guess it's not really a knee joint, but the kind of leg, I guess the crux of his leg, once you pass that point, and you have this one diagonal of purple wool, on the first row, it'll be brought in by 2, and then you'll have this. And then the other one will just connect straight into the spine. Like that. So you have a very flat portion right there. One other thing that changed, on the kind of back inner part of the leg, this purple wool is up diagonally in a row. It is like right there instead. But yeah, everything else should stay the same. For the next one, this one's a little strange. You're taking the purple wool and you're extending it out on either side by 1. That's all good. You're then extending it up diagonally out on either side by 2. And then from there, you're going up by 3. Then you're going up diagonally out by 2. I forgot to do this on the other side. Let's do this real quick. And then you're taking that, not either of the diagonals, but this block just before the diagonals, and you're extending it up an additional 3. And then you will connect it into the back. Any gaps that you kind of are seeing right now, you want to fill in line with the previous row of purple wool. Except for in the middle here, you'll just wait on that. But yeah, his, I believe this is his tailbone or something? I don't remember. But you'll have this. From the, hold on a second here, I'm having a grand old time. From this bottom purple wool here, you're going to go out on either side by 1. Then you will go out diagonally up by 2 on either side. And then up 1. And then you're going to go out diagonally up by 2. And you'll fill in these kind of little corners a block back. And then the middle here can be filled in with purple wool in line with everything. This block here is, I believe, part of his spine. Which, we'll make the, like, rivets for it later, but do just keep that in mind that is there. Anyway, once you've done that, that is Catnap's body complete. That was not that bad with the way that I did it, I hope. Although, yeah, I'd say it looks pretty good. Now, the tail. This is not going to be so fun, I think. Come back to his rear end area, and you want to find the 4th block down, which is this one, from the middle, on this, like, furthest back row, and you'll place a purple wool right here. You will extend it left and right by 1 each, and then extend the whole thing down with 2 rows, so you have a 3 by 3. So, you can really make this tail any way you want. What I'm going to start by doing is, essentially, first off, I would recommend orienting yourself so that way anything that you're bringing out of the back is going technically forward, which would be towards you. So you want to make a plus shape on this kind of square and extend it back an additional row. Off of the furthest left block of that plus, you'll bring it down by 2. And of either of those 2 blocks, you'll extend them forward by 1 each. Off of this front row, you want another plus sign that faces down. So you're just bringing that left, forward, and right. Once you have that 2 rows, you'll take the left and front of the plus and extend it down an additional 2. You'll then meet the point and again create another plus with facing down, with that being the center. So from there, this is where I really start to lose it, I think, a little bit. And then from here, you want to take the back block of these 2 purple wool and extend it back by 1. And then from there, you can go down by 1. Also, I want to point out, I'm doing it really weirdly. When I made it originally, I just tried to keep the plus shape flowing, but it just turned into a mess of me placing blocks randomly. So we're going to go through this block by block instead. Anyway, you want to take the bottom row of this plus here and also extend this left by 3. From that kind of purple block that hangs down here, you will bring it forward by 2 and the middle one of that row of 3 down by 1. You will extend that whole shape. Essentially, it's going to go left by 2, except the whole thing shifted forward a block. So the back point of the plus will be here, and it will actually line up with the line that we have above. And then from there, it actually is a little bit easier. You're making another plus left of this that is shifted down a row. And then you're extending that one left a row. And then you're shifting that plus, another plus left of that down a row. And then you're shifting another plus left of that down a row. Again, this is where it gets a little bit weird again. From that plus, you can take the bottom row of it, or the bottom of it, and just extend every block down by 1. You will take the bottom 2 middle blocks and extend them each left by 1. And then from there, you'll take that bottom block and extend it forward and back by 1. Place a block off the left of the middle of that row of 3, so you have another plus. Now it's easy again. You're bringing this shape down by 2. You're then placing another downward facing plus below that is shifted back by 1, so it'll be right there. And then you're extending that down a row. You're then placing another plus shifted right of that, which will be right there, and then you'll bring it down a row. This is where, again, we go back to pain and suffering. So, well, essentially, these 2 blocks here of purple, you're turning these into a plus now. So you'll take this bottom block here of these far right 2, and you're just extending it basically forward, backward, and down. Like this. All from that central block. And then from there, since that wasn't actually so bad, you're placing another plus facing in this orientation that is shifted, or that is right and down a row. You'll then extend that right with 2 rows. We're almost to the end of the tail, I swear. Just 5 more minutes. And then from there, you're shifting. You're shifting the next plus down diagonally to the right by 1. So the center of it will be right there. And it will be like so. You will then extend it right a row. And then you'll place another one right of that is down a row. Basically from the middle of that plus, you're extending it right by a block with purple. And then you should have a kind of bottom block here. If you want to destroy it, you can, or if you want to leave it, you can. I'm going to destroy it because this is the middle of this plus, and you're just extending it down by 2. And it will be a downward facing plus. And then you will shift a plus, or you'll have a plus shifted left of that is down a row. And then from there, what you want to do is you want to take the center of that plus and bring it down with a purple. And you are actually making... Are you making another plus? You're kind of sort of not, actually. So, well, no, you are making another plus. Never mind. Yeah, you're making another plus from that purple there. However, the row above it here, you're just extending the back of the plus back with another row of purple. So it's the same distance back as what we just made. And you'll have a block above the other central block of that one, like so. It's getting a little complicated here. And then from the center of this bottom plus here, you'll place a purple below. You'll bring it left 1, down 1, and left 1, and there's your tail. A little bit wild, just a tiny bit. But there you go. Now we're pretty much done. We just need the zipper and the spine and these stitches also. We're going to start with the spine, because this is probably the easiest out of any of the, like, 3 things that are left. So you want to start on the first, if you like come to the top here, you want to start in the first row of 2 that you find of purple on the very central top. And on the back block of this, you're placing a purple wool up. And just every other block on top of the spine, you're placing a purple wool sticking up. It doesn't really matter how it's placed in comparison to the, like, tilts and stuff, but you just want one every other block. And then you should end right there on the back. And then again, yeah, that will end up lining up as if it was part of the spine. So yeah, there you go. That, pretty easy. And that just kind of gives him a little bit more, I guess, shape, even. Not that I would necessarily define it as shape, but oh well. Come to the bottom side of him now, and you want to come kind of up near his neck. And if you're in line with the center of the front legs, you should be highlighting this purple wool, and you're going to essentially break his spine, or not his spine, the center of his kind of rib cage, and replace each purple wool that you break with an upside down polished black stone stair. I have it so the divot of the stair is on the left side of his body, like that. And you may also actually want to get out polished blackstone for this, so get rid of your buttons and just get out polished blackstone blocks. Because on each, like, step up or step down, you're probably going to want to place a polished blackstone block just on the end there, so it looks a little bit better. And you're just doing this all the way kind of through his body. This is the aforementioned zipper, and you will have it like 1 thick here. Just kind of ignore it. I mean, do obviously put the stairs there, but ignore it. And you will stop once you hit this one right here at the back where his body starts to kind of curve back down, and you do want a stair. In that 1 block, you just don't want to keep going after you place that stair. Just like so. On the far front block of the zipper, you want to place, going down, 2 polished blackstone walls. Below that, a yellow terracotta, and you want to bring that yellow terracotta left and right by 1 each. Take the far right yellow and bring it down by 1. And take the far left yellow and bring it down 1. Then go left 1, down 3, right 1, down 1, right 2, and then back up 1. One thing left, and this step is by far the easiest. Get rid of just 1 thing in your inventory, or I guess if you want to get rid of it, I'll get rid of like half, because I can. and get out polished blackstone slabs. Now, on the front arms, on the kind of underside, essentially you have these kind of rows of 2 that intersect. And just in the middle of his leg here, you're placing an opposite on polished blackstone slab on both sides. On the top side, it's going to be just where, or just before this row of 2 right here. It'll just be kind of to the side of it. You'll have a normal polished blackstone slab. On his back legs, it is in the kind of the same positions. It is just before that too, but it's just kind of on the very underside block here that you can. Like that. And also, I am noticing this purple wool that's broken right here actually should be shifted a block inward. So you can just break one more in and then replace that purple wool kind of on the edges of his legs. That just makes the stitch work a little bit better. But anyway, did I do the top one on this side? I don't think I did. I did not. Once you have done that, ladies and gentlemen, that is your Puppy Playtime Catnap statue complete. This was certainly a doozy. Let me know what you guys think of this statue in the comments down below. As mentioned, I am working on Nightmare Catnap, and he probably will be the next statue you see. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you guys did enjoy this video, this was one of the more tricky, I think, builds I've made in a while. But anyway, have a fantastic rest of your day or night, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.